The Black Panther franchise came out with their second installment, Wakanda Forever, in October 2022 after facing a big tragedy. Chadwick Boseman, who played the lead character of T'Challa, tragically died in late August 2020. But nevertheless, the team did their best in building the story without T'Challa's character. Welcome to Galore Techs. Today, we'll have a look at how the director Ryan Coogler and his teammates worked their magic into creating this spectacular movie. We will break down tons of technological aspects in the production of Wakanda Forever. Losing a main actor in any movie creates tons of problems for the whole production team, not to mention the difficult process of changing the story. The same was the case here. Ever since the first movie's success, there were plans to come out with more from the world of Wakanda. Marvel even wanted to keep the creative team together, and Chadwick Boseman was reportedly signed on for 2 sequels for $10 and $20 million, respectively. But unfortunately, that was never meant to happen, and Boseman died of colon cancer before the production even started out. Coogler and other executives at Marvel had no idea of his illness, and he was even preparing for Boseman's character for the last whole year. The team decided against casting someone else as Black Panther because it would cause too much comparison. I guess they were right, and the story that was eventually finalized was well received by Black Panther fans, and Wakanda Forever managed to gain almost $860 million at the box office. So what is this sequel all about, and what made this movie a blockbuster? The answer lies in all the stunning visual effects, the costume design, and of course, the remarkable performances of each of the characters in the movie. Wakanda Forever was originally going to showcase T'Challa dealing with resuming his life after the blip, all while grieving about losing so many years and his character development with his son Toussaint, whom he never met. Instead, now the movie explored feminist themes with Ramonda as queen and Shuri becoming Black Panther later on. We are introduced to the mesmerizing underwater world of Talokan, and Namor as the king. 2022 was a big year because Avatar: The Way of Water was also released and had truly amazing underwater sequences. In Wakanda Forever, there's also so much involvement of water, so there was, of course, an element of competition between the two movies. However, visual effects supervisor Chris White suggested against it. The underwater scenes of Wakanda Forever are a visual marvel. Hannah Beachler, the production designer, went above and beyond to create the mesmerizing Atlantis. She took inspiration from iconic movies like Jaws and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, as well as Jack Kirby's comics. Beachler's deep dive into Atlantis' design paid off, making it an underwater wonderland. Perhaps the first thing that grips the viewer in this movie is all the amazingly detailed costumes. Costume designer Ruth E. Carter incorporated aquatic elements into the attire of the Talokan people. Drawing from sea creatures like lionfish and sharks, she crafted stunning feather headdresses. To ensure the costume's functionality, many had to be tested underwater due to the extensive underwater filming. The movie rightfully bagged an Academy Award for the best costume design. Let's talk about the filming now. The filmmakers submerged actors in actual water tanks, ensuring authentic movements and emotions. This approach brought a striking realism to the underwater scenes. However, some dry for wet sequences were also used. For example, the scene where we get to see Namor's throne room. Here, technology and post-production were employed to add water effects around the footage. Even in dry for wet scenes, stunt performers did their scenes in full costume, which were used for reference later during the post-production. They even had to think about things like the actor's hair and clothes. For close-up shots, they used the dry for wet method. This was especially important for characters like Shuri and Namor. Namor's digital hair and flowing headdress added to the realistic underwater feel. Hair was a big challenge because it needed to look like it was floating underwater. They also had to deal with bubbles on the actor's skin and beards, which naturally happens when people are in water. They used machine learning to remove these bubbles. If you've seen the movie, there's a flashback scene where Namor is born underwater. The baby we see on screen isn't real. Instead, it's a prosthetic baby. To make it look alive, they added a bit of leg and facial movement to it. Out of 2,548 shots in the movie, 2,233 used visual effects. More than a dozen VFX vendors worked on these shots, ensuring the film's stunning visual elements. Notably, Perception designed the main on-end title sequence, a powerful moment showing Shuri's funeral clothes being burned away to reveal the Black Panther suit underneath. This sequence was filmed practically using a specialized fireproof Panavision camera. Controlled flames were ignited on cloth, similar to what Shuri wore in the film, creating a visually impactful moment that paid tribute to the character and showcased the intricate work of VFX teams. Autumn Durald Archipel was the cinematographer, and she strengthened the director's choice to shoot the movie in the anamorphic format, using the powerful Sony Venice 6K camera system in full frame. This choice provided stunning visual quality, further enhanced by Panavision's expanded T-Series anamorphic lenses, resulting in a 2.39:1 aspect ratio. In some sequences, such as those intended for the IMAX format, Panavision 1.3 Ultra Panatar lenses were employed for a 1.90:1 aspect ratio. The film has some scenes where there's a transition between aspect ratios, creating a dynamic visual experience. For the IMAX segments, like the opening scene, where the Talokan people raid an American cargo ship, these lenses were expertly modified and detuned by Dan Sasaki, Panavision's VP of Optical Engineering. The use of such lenses brought a dreamy touch that helped tell the story Ryan was trying to tell, with grief sometimes feeling like a fog that comes over you. The lighting was also a key element in shaping the film's visual aesthetics. The crew utilized RE sky panels, often placed within softboxes or space lights, to achieve a soft, overhead top light, creating a gentle and immersive illumination in various scenes. Despite working on expansive sets, the filmmakers were keen on introducing contrast and color dynamics to enhance the visual storytelling. This approach avoided the use of broad and flat lighting, instead favoring a more dynamic and visually engaging setup. For scenes requiring a punchier and harder look, a specialized rig was employed, featuring Cream Source Vortex 8 lights, which add intensity and depth to lighting design. When a softer ambience was desired, the team turned to Cine 5 light pad, available in 4x4 foot or 2x4 foot dimensions, often coupled with diffusion techniques. In the exciting helicopter and car chase scene over a Boston bridge, cinematographer Autumn Durald Archipel and the production crew expertly combined real and digital elements to bring this heart-pounding sequence to life. Portions of the chase were filmed on the actual Boston Bridge, but simultaneously, a 500-foot segment of the bridge was also recreated on a backlot in Atlanta, where much of the movie was shot. They had asphalt and fixtures that were identical to the bridge on the backlot set. Production design did a great job spacing them to look exactly like the bridge. Everything around that was a green screen environment. The second unit VFX team added further depth to the sequence using a specialized Sony Venice 3 camera rig. That rig helped capture the Boston night skyline. With post-production lighting and grade work, that team achieved high-speed shots of a tumbling car and filmed a key fight sequence, delivering a thrilling and visually striking car chase scene. Overall, the movie did really well and got nominated for numerous awards. Plus, good news for the fans, as there is a sequel in discussion. But if you haven't seen the movie yet, you are definitely missing out on some amazing Hollywood experience. If you have, well, high five! Tell us, what was your favorite part of the movie? Which character was the most loved? Tell us down below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting Galore Text videos. Thanks for watching.